This whole story starts back in September of last year. But to get full context, just a few things of early information. I have ADHD. I was diagnosed when I was 21, late in life, but it was mostly just because as a kid, I didn't really know what ADHD was. And then when I was a teenager in high school, I had an inclination that I might, because I had a lot of trouble like focusing and doing work. And like whenever I tried to like do something, I would just kind of fall asleep. And it didn't matter how much I wanted to do something. If it like took work, it was just almost impossible for me to do anything. And it was incredibly frustrating. So finally, when I went to college and I was on my own, I was able to be like, I'm just going to go get tested, see what happens. I got tested. I think they said it was in the red. If there's like a gauge and a needle, it's like all the tests that I take, and there's like a series of different concentration tests. Every single one was like, you passed with flying colors. You are so deep into ADHD. I was like, wow, okay, that answers a lot of questions. So part of my therapy, in addition to other like habit changes that I did, I got a medication. So I've been taking Adderall since my diagnosis. So for about 10 years, I've been taking Adderall. Okay, that's not abnormal. That's fine. I got up to a therapeutic dose. That's fine. It's what it is. It's what my doctor recommended. This is a key component to this. Me and my doctor have been in constant communication. I've actually had a few different doctors, and we've always been in constant communication because that's how medicine should work for these therapies, right? You'd expect that.
Sure, yeah.
So since I've been taking it for 10 years, I was reaching the point where the option was either go up in dosage or try a new medication for therapy reasons, because the same medication that I've been taking for a long time, you know, it stops being effective or as effective because of tolerances, all these different things, longevity, my brain changes. There's a bunch of different factors. I don't know them all because it's a communication between me and my doctor. So I find out about this new medication that's coming out. It has good reviews. It's like, I want to switch from it. Oh, should I give the name to it? It doesn't matter. It's
Subtractinone?
What?
Attentional.
These are all great names and they were wonderful. But it's this medication called the Stars. I read reviews about it. It's all these weird medication names are bizarre. Don't ask me the spelling because I wouldn't fucking know. But I wanted to try it. Had good reviews, talked to my doctor, seemed like it was a good fit for me. He said, okay, let's try this medication. I'll write you a prescription for a 2-week prescription, and then we'll go from there and evaluate. You know, normal talking to doctor things. So I take this prescription to my pharmacy, CVS. It's the one nearby. And I submit the thing, and they're like, oh, never heard of this one before. We'll order it, and it should be ready in a few days. Sure, perfectly normal. This was in September of last year.
Oh, that was a while ago.
That was 1, 2, 8 months.
You did say it took a while.
Yeah, as of right now, it's May. And as of right now, I got this prescription last week. The first time that there was a problem, because I submitted on like a Thursday. So the following Monday, I still haven't heard anything from CVS. So I call and I'm like, hey, did you get that prescription in? And they said like, and I said,
wrong answer.
Yeah.
Let me put you on hold for a minute. I'll find out.
So I'm like, oh, do you know why?
Cool.
Literally the answer I got. I'm not exaggerating. When I asked them why it didn't come in, they said,
I don't know. Don't know why it didn't come in. We'll try to order it again.
Well, it's a good thing it's not an important medical prescription. It was just a frivolous, fun prescription. So, you know, you're fine. You'll be fine.
That is exactly the situation I was in because I was running out of my previous, like, prescription. I only had so many pills left. And that's a problem. But I was like, okay, order it again. I got a few days left. I should be fine. Next day comes around. They said, we'll order it. We'll put it priority. It should come in tomorrow. Great. Tomorrow rolls around. I call again. You got it?
No.
Do you know why?
No.
Okay. All right, starting to become a problem here.
The same person answering every time.
Yeah.
It's like this person reading a magazine, like not even looking at your account.
And it is the same amount of indifference. It is just like, nah, I'm busy. Like, I can't look into it. So I'm like, okay, this is kind of important. I need to know if you have this. Do I need to transfer this to another pharmacy? What's the order of things here? It's like, well, because of what it is, you can't transfer it. We can't transfer it. You have to get your doctor to write a new prescription. It's like, okay, can you try to order?
What the hell is that?
It's because like ADHD medication is like a controlled substance.
Oh,
like
dang.
so it's like category 2. So there's
so they don't want you calling it into like 6 places and like getting all those prescriptions at once. Okay.
Which
I guess that makes sense.
I totally understand. And that's what I'm thinking this is all about. Like, okay, there must be something about this. So I'm like, okay, can you try to order it again? Like, hopefully it's just an inventory issue and whatnot. And then like, please, like, this is very important. I need it because I need to know if I need to get a different prescription to fill the interim. Like, it's important. And they're like, okay, we'll order it again. 3 days pass. Like, I'm on my last pill of this other prescription. I'm like, please, did you get it? And it's like,
Nah, and we're not going to order it anymore because it doesn't keep you coming in.
and I'm like, what? What do you mean?
Does this person also work at a vet clinic? Because they sound very familiar.
Yeah, I'm just like, what do you mean? I never get upset on customer service stuff, but I could not fathom why it is. And it's like they said, we don't know, there's no answer. Like, just the supplier didn't order it. And I'm like, what do you mean the supplier didn't order it? What are you talking about? And then finally, I go to the store. I literally go to the store and I confront the same person I was talking to on the phone. I'm like, please tell me what is the problem. And the problem was that because it is a new medication, my insurance couldn't cover it until there was a prior authorization, which is a factor in these things. It is a factor.
Yeah.
So, but they didn't tell me that. They didn't tell me that it needed a prior authorization, which they would ordinarily tell you long ago, because then they would look and they would see insurance didn't pay for it and stuff like that. So I said, fucking fine. Okay, I'm going to go to my doctor and he will submit a prior authorization, which is the most absurd thing in the world, because what it is, it's the insurance company just saying like, we don't know if you really need this medication. We need to hear from your doctor that you actually need it. And I'm like, didn't my doctor write on a very special piece of paper that no one can duplicate that my name is on it, needs this medication? That's what a prescription is. Why would they write it if I didn't need it?
Oh, listen, you may have gotten it prescribed, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's necessary.
I know, and the thing
Your
is,
doctor's just maybe he just wanted you to have a fun weekend, or he's trying to hook you up, get you so you could sell it on the street, make a little extra cash. I don't know.
You know, what's crazy is the prior authorization is literally a letter from my doctor that essentially says, yes, they need this medication. So they get the prescription from my doctor, like, well, we need to hear from your doctor. And then the doctor writes a note that says, this guy needs it. Oh, it's a letter from your doctor. Now we'll submit it through.
Oh my God.
And you would think this would be the end of the story.
Oh no, I would not.
But we've only gone a week into the timeline of me. Because remember, this is still back in September.
Yeah, this is months ago.
So I get the prior authorization. It goes through. And you know what my insurance says?
That looks like a fake authorization if I've ever seen one.
That's pretty much what happened. And I've never understood that in my life, where I've never even heard that. And what they did was they didn't straight up say no. It was like,
Well, are you sure you don't need another medication? How about one of these that we do cover?
and I'm like, are you my doctor? Are you writing prescriptions? Are you doing the prescribing thing? You medical professional? No. They're not.
We could be.
No.
Meanwhile, they've got the euthanasia needle behind their back. Like, no, but we can still help you.
Yeah.
They called their vet friend, and he's like, I could get rid of him. I'll fix your ADHD. Don't you even worry about it.
We don't need pre-authorization for this.
You'll never be distracted again. Oh, you'll be so focused when I'm done with you. And so what came about is it wasn't even after the insurance, because the prior authorization finally went through, whatever, after a long fight with that. That took another week. So I went back to CVS and I'm like, can you please order this now? And then they didn't even try to order it. After all of that, they just said, our supplier refuses to buy this medication because there aren't enough people getting prescribed this medication. And I've never heard a more insane sentence in my life.
Look, you have to really have a common ailment. If you have an uncommon ailment, then you're just on your own.
What, do you want them to just eat that overhead so that you can get
Go
the
make it
medicine you
yourself,
need to function?
You alien bitch.
What do you think this is?
Because what that means is, like, with any, and I get it, it's a new medication. Like, of course there aren't going to be many people. It's new, but do just hundreds of people have to have this fight with a pharmacy to get a medicine that their doctor says that they need? Or like and yes is the answer. Yes is the actual answer.
Of course.
And it was the most absurd thing. So obviously I couldn't deal with this weight. I got my doctor to write me another prescription for my previous prescription of Adderall. This mystery thing that was a Stars just had to be shoved off to the side. Like it just had to wait. And so, cause I was busy making space and I was like, holy shit, I need medication for this. It's just like, I can't function at this point in my life and I want to try this new thing. So it goes by and every once in a while I'll check in with it and it won't happen. Fast forward to a few weeks ago. And I talked to my doctor and I figure it's been 6 months, right? It's been 6 months. Space is almost done. I finally have a chance where I can get to a point where I can address this other issue in my life and I can try a new medication that will hopefully be more beneficial to me. All seems good. My doctor's like, sure, you got it, buddy. Let's try it again. Here we go again with this test prescription, yada, yada, all that stuff. I send it to CVS and I'm like, all right, cool. Let's try this again. They ordered it. I call up. Did it come in? Oh.